Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video. Due to me not feeling well, I haven't been able to work on a lot of videos lately, so what I'm going to do for the time being is do a Outer Worlds playthrough. This should be interesting and fun. As always, I'd like to thank everybody who watches the videos, everyone who subscribes, follows, comments, does all the really cool stuff that helps the channel. Thank you very much. Thank everybody out there that does the content, Genx, movies, television, books, whatever. Thank you. You guys do a great job. So, that being said, let's get into the game. Hello, we're into the game now. We're going to start a fresh game. This is a pretty game. I'm going to play it fairly straight, no mods or anything. So we'll get on with it. I've got to adjust the volume on the recording. There we go. So let's get into it. I'm going to play in story mode just because it makes better for a playthrough. As you can read on the screen, the other, your normal, your hard, and your supernova all have different settings, but for doing a playthrough on YouTube, I think this works good. We'll leave that as it is.
Stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars. Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes.
I don't know how long we'll play tonight,
of your very own
but you know, it is what
You'll
it
wake up
is.
in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment.
I also
With
tend
only
to
a
think
minor
of
term of
Outer
service,
Worlds
you will become the master of your own
as
destiny. When you go
Texas
out of
under
this
Greg
world
Abbott.
to the Halcyon colony.
This introduction I'm going to let play through just simply because I think it's pretty cool. It should be noted that there are many different ways to play this game. It is a role-playing game, RPG, so it works.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
I'm going to be playing, I'm not a real running and gunning type player or anything, so what I'm going to do, I tend to do like sniping and stealth and stuff like that. So That's how I'm going to build this character. I'm going to go ahead and do that. 2 points available. 1 point.
Like barking orders? Good. We're used to being bossed around.
There we go. Except that. What? Go with scientist.
A lab spread, eh? Huh. We all start somewhere, I suppose.
We're gonna go ahead and make this a mill. I like that head. Oh, right there, it's good skin tone. Everything else is probably pretty good. Hair. So what hairstyles we got? Nope. Nope. I may come back to that long hair. There we go. I like that one. So what kind of hair color we give? There we go. We'll go with that hair. Eyebrow. We'll go facial hair. I like that. And we'll get our facial hair pretty close to it. There we go. I like that. Should give them some see what kind of scars we can give. Nope. Have to click on the right thing. There we go. I like that. Age. We'll leave that default. I don't know what kind of name. Okay, seems how we're scientists. We'll go with why not? That's a good name. Good, strong, scientific name. There we go. Yeah.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Try to keep the cursor out of the way.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 11%. If drive is
Shit.
inoperable.
Oh yeah, this game's kind of free with the language, so
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
And just to be honest, for the record, I am not a real gamer. I'm what real gamers call a tourist. So.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
So basically what we're going to do is do different quests, build skill points, and eventually finish the game.
Should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste.
The controls
Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Yeah, the controls are set up for me being left-handed, so the default controls are for right-handed folks. And as I'm starting this as a new game, it's going to assume that I'm an idiot. Gonna need that. And that's part of the game, is basically scavenging. Those things are pretty nasty. All in all, this is a pretty game.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
So yeah. We interact with different characters and stuff.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hull had grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
By Intergate, one of the things that builds your skills is the using your dialogue. Now we're gonna do the same.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
This is basically explaining how the time dilation works. I'll use it a lot during the game because it works real good. In fact, I'm going to use it right now. I'll show you. That's your health. That's the reason why I don't do a lot of sniping, because I tend to sit and exchange blows. We're gonna do some scavenging around this camp here. Yeah, why not? Let's open this, see what we get. Nope. Yeah, we got more. Yeah, there's another one coming up.
Something there.
Nope, nothing on that body. We'll take everything that we can get. Make our way to Hawthorne's ship.
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about.
You've got to be real careful on, depending on how you're playing your character, on your responses. So, you know, you've got to be kind of within certain things to get positive, and certain things give you negative interaction. Some things positive interaction, some things negative. So.
Really? How is he? Of course I am. I'm a superior officer. Stands to reason, don't it? Just you watch. I'll cross these marauders off with a swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some.
We'll go.
You think? Most marauders can't even talk. The criminals do attract other criminals by their own nature. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
I'm gonna let them do the heavy lifting. Take care of that in a minute. And I generally pick up a lot of stuff simply because later in the game you can turn around and sell it or trade it and get things you need.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing.
So,
the main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
oh yes I do.
Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
I've got the captioning going on just simply in case I'm talking during a conversation. Let's take a look around our ship.
If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 workbench is at your disposal, Captain.
Yeah, this is the workbench. Could use those from time to time. Got a sawed-off shotgun there. Great, we'll go ahead and pick it up.
I suppose everything on the Unreliable belongs to you now, Captain. Help yourself. No, really.
This takes us up. Here's the engine
The
room.
ship's engines cannot be powered until a replacement regulator has been properly installed.
And this takes us... Oop, gotta get on the right side of the ladder for it to work. And we'll go up and over. It's kind of like the common area.
These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
But, yeah.
Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown.
So good. Now we gotta go start playing the game. So yeah. We'll start picking up companions and things like that.
I'll be with you, friend. I'm Ernie from the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources. Town sent me hereabouts to check on the guards. Now, it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but seems to me they're all dead. Mind telling me what happened here?
We'll go with that.
Accidentally, brutally shot themselves, huh? Unbelievable. Second time this month. Guess I'd better get to cleaning up. Can't just leave company property scattered about, bleeding out on the dirt. No can do, friend. That armor's Spacer's Choice property. Bodies, too. Living or otherwise. Company policy, you see. You don't want to amble on over to Edgewater at your earliest convenience. Constable's office might have work for someone with your, let's just say, aggressive disposition. Oh, and be sure to stop by the Edgewater Provisioner for a can of salt tuna. It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's Choice.
Let's see. Okay, that little number there tells me how many meters I am away from where my destination is. And it points a straight line, not necessarily the path you gotta take. Let's go to my inventory. I'm gonna go ahead and equip shotgun. Don't have any ammo for it, but It's good to have it there when you need it. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and do our level up. We'll go 2 points there. Let's go into perks. It's always good to stay healthy when you're going to be fighting. On some of these screens, I'm going to try to leave them up long enough for, you know, watching. So this is a pretty game. Uh-oh.
Gonna find you. From apart. Find you.
That's one thing I always do. Try to, or especially at the lower levels in the game, when your character's lower level, is scavenge the bodies. So yeah, we'll probably get into Edgewater and get set up for the
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend.
Yeah.
Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium?
Probably.
Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites. We rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little.
We'll go ahead and end this conversation. Yeah. I don't know how long. I'm going to try to keep these videos between an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the quest. It may take longer, so we don't know.
The grease monkey, Argo? Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
Yeah.
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited.
Yeah, this guy's
there are people who live there.
Not real ethical.
I am not trying to pull one over on you, friend. You were bound to run into them sooner or later.
Yeah,
the
he's
people
right.
living in the botanical labs. They're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
We'll find out why.
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
We'll go with number one.
That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
All right.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Yeah, we're gonna take...
Great!
She makes one of the better companions in the game.
And hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Yeah. Yep. I'll leave that there for a bit. Okay, you can probably pause at this point if you need to still read it.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Topson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Topson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Topson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Topson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Alright, let's do this. Though I am going to there's a quest later, and the quest object is in the factory here. I'm just saving time on a future quest. We'll also do that at the geothermal plant. There's a camera. So actually, let's look at see what we're getting. We'll go ahead. There we go. We'll go ahead and collect these gravesite fees while we're in town, and actually we'll start. I'll go ahead and we'll get one or two of them. Then we'll who's the closest? 35 is who? Abernathy. Yeah, this is an interesting individual here.
Yes, Mr. Topson. I'm fine, Mr. Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy. You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state? Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching, and soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies.
Don't say that, Mr. Abernathy. You still got a couple decades in you.
I'd steer clear, Ms. Holcomb. My affliction's bound to be contagious. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one. I am? Law, help me. Paranoia is one of the plague's known symptoms. I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me. You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Law, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it. Just keep your head down when you're in there. Marauders have taken over. Probably tracking mud all over the archives.
So we picked up another quest, which is a good thing.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy. Excuse me. I'm Esther Blaine, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with Abernathy. I hope you're not thinking about getting him that medicine. Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Anthracillin is wasted on him. You're better off selling it to me instead. All I'm saying is Abernathy's worked in this town longer than some of us been alive. How do I put this gently? He's got a lot of cobwebs up in his attic. That's all I can ask of you.
Okay. So you pick up these side quests, and it allows you to level up, so when you hit the main quest, you're able to... Let's go pick up the other two. Ordered it Phyllis. Yeah, I forgot about Phyllis, but you can't deal with Phyllis until you pick up this quest. I think she's up here. That's one of the things that makes this game able to play it over and over, is because you get different things going on. Oh, I guess I just blew past her.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. I'm plenty serious. In fact, I'm a little upset Eugene didn't think things through. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Yeah, you can speed through or skip a lot of this dialogue, but I don't because it increases the skills. Vending machine. Vending machines are cool. There we go. Yeah, my hack skill isn't high enough, so I can't sell. Or maybe I can. Nope, it won't let me sell. See if I have enough to buy some ammo. Nah, not enough to buy enough ammo to make it worth the time. This door just goes into the other side over here. Yeah, Ludwig. Now this one coming up is kind of, he's crazy, like super crazy. Oop.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. The war, the coming apocalypse, man
We'll pick up
versus machine.
another quest with this guy,
about
but this
mechanical
guy's
soldier.
kind of
Cold, heartless
Crazy.
automatons made of iron and lies. Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. All right. Listen real close.
This guy.
Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about. Firing at the birds. Orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Some tuna cans, mostly, some Spacer's chaw, a few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid. Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the Resistance a bad name. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back. Mechanicals got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing. Go on.
Okay. We'll go finish collecting gravesite fees. Then we'll go do the robot. Let me see something. Look at Pravati. Yeah. It's 7. That's 4. We'll leave her with that armor. Now you can't run when you're
Had your rations yet?
encumbered, so which you'll see as we get deeper into the game.
Oh, I cut my own hair. But Conrad sells real good disinfectant.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough body parts in my line of work. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions.
He's broke.
As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. I have to be, if only to prepare myself for my inevitable dressing down at the hands of corporate. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Not a bad idea, but I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged.
Hey, I saw that. What do you think you're doing?
Carry on.
See, that's why you gotta work on your dialogue and talking skills.
What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How? Then, you know Phyllis suggested selling off Eugene's gold teeth. I didn't approve of the idea then, and I don't approve of it now. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. That's unthinkable. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein are solely the property of Spacer's choice. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
Yes, you can.
Are you asking rhetorically? Because if you're being serious... Ugh, gross.
Desperate measures, Miss Holcomb. Desperate measures. I'm going to have to ask Silas to dig up those teeth. It's the only way I'm paying my gravesite fees. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU. Eugene was not a suicide. He put a bullet in his brain, yes, but that's largely a technicality. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague on his corpse, and I discovered medicine in his pocket. Lots of medicine. Eugene overdosed on adrenatime, which is known to cause psychosis and paranoia as possible side effects. The paranoia drove him to take his own life. It's a miracle of bureaucracy. If Eugene's death were filed as a suicide, we'd all pay the price for his crime. We can all thank our lucky stars that young Eugene was hopped up on medication and suffered its predictable side effect. I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with a suicide.
So we're going to take this to Silas, and we'll call him. There we go.
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for... Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him careful and true, miss. Best to ask her yourself.
My dad's buried here. Silas watches over him when I can't leave the house. Oh. Well, thanks.
Something I can do for you? You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink sometime.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and call that good here. And actually, we'll go ahead and take care of the skill points. So if I don't do it now, I'll forget about it. So, yep, until next time, everyone take care. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?